the energy he expends. It's a great night to give him a night off in the back-to-back. So yeah, so tonight's the night. So we got to make sure we cover our bases without him.
Coach, you've had a chance to play against Dirk. You had a chance to interview him when you were a broadcaster. You coached against him. You had a lot of unique perspectives in your time around Dirk in the game. As we're wondering, as it gets close to the end, what your perspective is seeing him today, and what is definitely his last game at Oracle, and maybe his last game against you.
Yeah. Wow, where do you begin? Dirk is just, he's one of the guys who everybody just loves. I don't think you can find anybody in the league who doesn't love Dirk, and it's because of not just what a great player he's been in his career, but the way he's handled himself, the way he carries himself, a tremendous self-deprecating sense of humor, and loves the game, loves to play. You don't play for, what year is this, 20?
21.
21. You don't play for 21 years unless you love the game. And, he's had a brilliant career, done it all, won a championship, won an MVP. And even beyond that, I think changed the way people look at the game. We've never had a guy at that position shoot the way he has shot the ball. So he's been part of this three-point revolution from a position that really people didn't do that from. So he's made his mark in so many ways, but I think anybody who knows him, and I don't know him well, but just having been around him a little bit, you just appreciate his humility, and especially given the scope of his career and his talent. That combination, he's one of a kind.
What do you remember about playing against him?
The memory that comes up for me is when he got injured in the 2003 West Finals. He missed, I think, like the last 3 games of the series, and so that was a huge blow for Dallas. It was my last season, and I was thrilled to play on a championship team, in my last year. But I'll always remember that series for Dirk's injury, and what would have happened, who knows? But it was a tough blow for the Mavs.
Coach, how much does Game 6 of that series factor into that memory for you?
I remember that game pretty well too. That was one of my favorite games on a personal level, just because I was, kind of where Dirk is now, at the very end, and wasn't playing much. Just to have a good game and a playoff game and a big moment, sort of was a good way to wrap it all up.
Steve, Kevin has said that he mimicked his fadeaway jumper off of Kerr. What have you thought about what that shot has meant for each of those guys and their legacies?
Well, I think as a broadcaster, I was here the night the Warriors beat Dallas in the We Believe season, 2007. 2007. And what was interesting was Dirk won the MVP that year, but the Warriors sort of they figured out a good way to guard it. They were very physical with him. Guys like Baron Davis and Matt Barnes, Jason Richardson, they would switch and get underneath him down on the block. And he didn't really make the Warriors pay in that series. And he was the MVP of the league already. He came back the next year, and that was one of the things he worked on was his low post game. And he got even better after winning the MVP. And it got to the point where it didn't matter what you did with him. And I think, guessing, that experience was one of the reasons he expanded his game. He added that low post game, the fadeaway, the ability to escape pressure and still get a great look at a shot. And I saw that shot an awful lot in the 2011 finals when they won their title. So one of the things I always respect about any player, no matter what level, whether you're the 12th man or the MVP of the league, if you keep working and get better, that's impressive, and that's exactly what he did.
Steve, with Sean and Steph both out, what do you need from your point guards?
Well, more minutes from Quinn for sure, and we'll have Damian Lee up, from the G League. We'll play Andre at some point guard. we'll mix and match. We'll see what we've got. Kevin and Draymond will handle the ball quite a bit, but things are different without your two main point guards. So you got to be able to take care of the ball and get organized. So that's the plan.
Coach, we talked about Dirk and how he kind of changed the game for big men who can shoot. When you look at Luka Doncic, obviously got a long way to go, but the size, the skill, just coming in, being as good as he is right away. Do you think he has the capability of being that kind of transcendent player as his career progresses?
Transcendent is difficult to define. I think Dirk transcended the game because of that unique skill set from the position he's in. I think if anything, Luka looks more like a descendant, of Dirk's, Kevin Durant's, of these playmaking wings who are big and can handle the ball and can play with skill, but also dominate the game, sort of just with their presence. That's, for a rookie to do what he's doing, he's got that look where, okay, that's an all-star, that's going to be the cornerstone of the franchise. From that point, who knows? But that's a pretty good start. He's having an amazing rookie year and doing things that you don't expect from most first-year guys.
Hey, Steve, they didn't play as well as maybe they possibly could have, but when you look at the duo of Dirk and Steve Nash, where would you put that combination in history?
It's tough to rank those things. There's so many combinations you can look at, but for me, as a contemporary, Steve's in particular, Steve's a little older than Dirk, but I played against both those guys for several years, and it was beautiful to watch because of the way they went about their business. They're both very unique. Steve sort of set the bar for a lot of the modern point guards. I mean, we see. I've said before, Steph Curry is like Nash on steroids, and Dirk, was kind of that first big pick and pop guy who could shoot threes and put it on the floor. Maybe Larry Bird before him, but in terms of a volume of shots from deep range, we hadn't really seen that. So to see two guys so unique, and see the way they played together and what good friends they were, and then to get to know them and to just enjoy being around them, they were pretty special.
When we back to Andre, do you feel like he's playing the best he's played this season?
Andre?
Yeah, how do you measure what the best looks like physically and mentally?
Physically, I think it's easy to see, and he has said himself when he plays more golf, he's more ready for basketball.
Yeah.
So I see that. There's a bounce in his step when he gets to play golf. So we're praying for good weather throughout the playoffs. But he's had a tremendous season. This has been, the last couple of years, we've all talked about it. We've all seen it. Maybe he's paced himself a little bit. He'll be all right in the playoffs, and that's exactly how it worked out. But there were times in the regular season, last 2 years, where he didn't look fresh. He didn't look bouncy, and that hasn't been the case this year. He's looked fantastic all year long, and he's been on top of his game. He's really been a huge reason for where we are right now, and he's still got it.
Steve, I think he does that at age 30.
I'm sorry?
The challenges of doing that at age 30.
Yeah, he takes good care of himself. He watches his diet. He works relentlessly in the training room, in the weight room. He's a pro. He understands what this is about, and takes care of himself. So, and he's just, he's one of the great athletes that I've ever seen. It's just the speed, the explosion, and you combine that, that athleticism he's had his whole career with the knowledge, the ability to take care of himself, wherewithal to do the right things every day, and now golf. It's all panned out well for him late in his career.
Steve, do you feel like your team has kind of flipped a switch, especially defensively? Following the Phoenix loss, it seems like your team has played a lot different, with a lot more focus, and maybe just realizing, okay, it's really time to sort of kick it in here.
Yeah, I think so. I know our numbers are great since the Phoenix game defensively, dramatically better than for the regular season. So That's a great sign. I think going on the road after that Phoenix game and playing great teams was really good for us. You know, to play Houston and OKC without Kevin, we felt threatened, and when our guys feel threatened, they respond better. So that's the whole key. Can we maintain that level of defensive effort and intensity? That's what we're looking for down the stretch here and then into the playoffs.
You'll be resting that tomorrow yet?
Yeah, but we won't know for sure exactly what we're going to do until after the game tonight. But you know, more than likely there will be something that happens tomorrow. But we'll let you know then.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.